Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an exciting Friday night here at Gavra Racing for rounds 5 and 6 of the V8 Supercars at Sakitto GP. And joining me in the commentary box is Toby51.
Good evening, everybody. Today we're at Sakitto, and I think the weather conditions are going to potentially play a bit of a part today. It's quite a warm track, and we've got precipitation currently at 20% chance. So it should be an interesting race. We've certainly had one in the last few rounds. Virtually every race, well, both the races last week were absolutely stonkers.
Yes, these guys have been really going at it in these V8 Supercars. I've been waiting to see this race for a while. This is my first time covering this track, so I'm excited to see them with the V8 Supercars.
I love this track. It's a fast but windy track, so setup's going to definitely be key here. A stable car will definitely make fast laps.
So
currently on out laps at the moment.
So if you've drove this track a little bit, you're more familiar with it probably than I am. I've heard some of the drivers say that tire wear can definitely be an issue around this track and in these cars, as Lead the Iron does a fantastic job of catching this car.
That was a good catch. Tire wear can definitely be an issue. There's a lot of fast turns which definitely put a lot of wear onto your front left. So I think by the end we will definitely be seeing a bit of tire influence in the race.
It's like K. Morse is getting, I'm not sure if this is be his first time lap or his out lap. Looks like it was his out lap. We do have Pete setting a time. 151. I'm not sure what the times are going to be around here. What do you think we might see around this track, Kevin?
I have no idea. I've never driven the V8 Supercar around here, so any number I picked out of the air would be a guess.
Yeah, I really should have tried to sneak in some of the drivers' practice sessions and see maybe what they were potentially running. And I'd probably be much more informed on being able to tell everybody watching what they might run. I feel like 151 is a pretty good time, though, but we'll see.
It's definitely representative.
Someone else should be setting a time here soon. So we are in for 15 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 16-lap race, Toby?
Yeah, it is a 16-lap race. Yep. And then the second race tonight will be 10 laps. So it's not quite half. Well, it's over half distance from the first race.
Yeah, I have to say, I think I'm more excited to watch these guys on the second race after they've gone at it one time. That's definitely the more exciting one for me. Not saying I don't love the first race. It's just the second one, I think they're much more likely to go at each other a little bit harder. Or I know that's how I've been feeling.
Definitely. They've got no worries about the tyres, and they just, well, try and take every opportunity and keep as close to each other as they can. Which last week we had some incredible action.
Yeah, these guys have not been disappointing at all in these V8 Supercars, and we have a lot better times than the first time that these set has gone in. So far we have Marcos is in the lead with a 138.98. Followed with K. Morse with a 140. Yes Dog's a 140. Allo Champ's 140. Caleb's got a 142. I think he's going to get faster. ID4, 143. He improved to 144. Gamer, 147. Joe Black went back to the pits with a 149. I know we're going to see a lot more out of him. He's been a good, strong driver in these V8 supercars. Led had a great season in the Clios. Looks like he's having a little trouble with his rear end right now, though.
Probably 360.
Snaker, I don't know why Snaker is just coming out of the pits. He may have also spun and had to go back.
I think possibly new set of tyres, although he hasn't set a lap yet, so I'm assuming you're right, he probably has spun. But Marcos, I remember from last week, was setting some incredible laps during the race, so I think that time is most certainly representative as to what final time will be, and he's going to either prove me right or wrong in 2 seconds. He doesn't improve, so I'm imagining that is pretty much around where we're going to be tonight, 138.
I could have swore I just saw him doing 130 into that first turn, which is, to me, it seems just crazy.
It's a big sweeping corner.
Yeah, Allo Champs did improve over K-Morse, didn't he?
He did, yep, and he's put himself up to within half a second of Marcos now. I was just saying the first corner is a big sweeping corner, which is pretty much flat out until you get to the second apex of it, which it's almost like a carousel. It just carries you round it. But then in the V8 supercars, because of their certainly happy back ends, that could well be different. I'm not certain it'll be flat out in that. Oh, and Heavdog just put in a 139.9, so he is 4 tenths behind Allo and second behind Marcos. Got an improvement from K-Morse there as well with the 140. Within just over a second, top 4.
And we're just a little over halfway through qualifying, so they still have plenty of time to improve. I want to stay with K-Morse. I really want to see what he's going to be running when he hits the end of this straight. K-Morse is a really strong driver. Is he on his brakes? Oh no, it's his headlights. And I missed how fast he was going.
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was focused on the time screen myself, because Marcus is in the pits, so it looks like for the time being he's pretty happy. Time he set. However, with 6 minutes to go, he may well come out for another run at the end.
And Joe. Maybe Joe is happy with his time. I think he's a lot faster than the 149 he has set at the moment, though. You did say we had a pretty good chance of rain for the race earlier, didn't you? I think I heard you, but I think I kind of missed it all at the same time.
It's showing at 20% chance at the moment, but I do know that everybody is definitely watching the weather coming in and just trying to see whether it's going to stave off or not. But if it does hit, then we're certainly in for a very, very exciting race with the V8 supercars. That's going to be a bit of a handful.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to wrap my head around having to handle these cars in the rain.
I've never raced them in the rain myself, and it's, racing them in the dry is pretty much a handful anyway. So I can only imagine what it would be like in the wet.
So I'm just trying to stick with. Yeah, I was gonna say I was just trying to stick with him for a second, see if he gets him a good run in.
I think he might do, because he again has also been fast in the previous rounds. It looks like he's got a bit of damage, which suggests that the lap he's put up at the moment is not representative of what he can do. Back at the top. You've got Marcus back out on track. In fact, all of the top 7 are on track. All in the same position as they were before. So I think everybody's been changing tyres for the last run.
I don't think he made it. It really looked like he was on a really good lap there, but I don't think he managed to improve.
He didn't, no. I did see a couple of mistakes, so I wonder whether he's actually carrying the damage. We've got Snake has now gone back into the pits.
Yeah, looks like we have a couple of guys that are, I guess they're happy with their times, which really, we're going to not count the alien up front at the moment with his 138. We'll just start with the 139, and so against through 3/4 of the field, 4 seconds separating the lap time. Keeping these cars on track and putting down consistent laps, I think can really get you a long way in this race.
I think that's a good call for racing generally, because if you keep on spinning off, then you're going to lose a lot more time than taking it a little bit slower around the track.
I thought I saw Yev's dog move up. I put the camera on him. Yev's dog, everybody watching, I take full responsibility for that.
Commentator's curse again. But he did actually improve. I think he was on a .577 before, and he's now on a .56. So, marginal improvement, but still very, very tight split between the two of them. And Marcus has improved. It was only marginal, but I'm not sure on that one.
Almost, I think he had a 138.988. He was just in the 139s, but he was in there, so I think he took about a half second off of that lap.
Actually, I think you're right. In which case, Eve-Dog matched the time he set before that. It's always frustrating when that happens, when you're aiming for the time that's above you, and the goalposts move just at the last minute.
Yeah, that really can be frustrating for a driver, because you know you did good, you're fixing to go across, you know you've got him, and then he just barely does a little bit better, and yeah, like you said, raise the goalpost just that little amount.
Got Alex Champ. Oh, he did improve, but not enough to challenge Eve-Dog or Marcos.
And we have Chef on the live chat on Twitter. How you doing today, Chef?
Hello and welcome. Just got to switch my Twitch on because I haven't done that yet.
I feel like I have not gave Michaela much camera time around here. Wanted to give him a little bit, as we're counting down 10 seconds left in qualifying, and then they should have about a minute to anybody that is close enough to finishing a lap. Not sure if Michaela improved there or not. Gaming VR, he's got time to finish his. So see if he can improve off of his 141.81.
So Robito has actually improved his lap because he was sitting at a 151 before, so he's now 147.
Very nice. Yes, Chef, I agree. I think we're all excited for the next season with the classic cars. That is going to be a lot of fun. And
I certainly hope we get a chance to race because I love racing classic cars. They bring a whole different aspect.
So we have Robito still out on track, Caleb, and Gaming VR. But it's winding down. They could all be on autopilot at this point. Yep, I believe so.
I think they are. I think they've all completed the laps.
So it should come up here very shortly. If you want to give us the rundown of how we're going to start for our race when it does.
No problem at all. We've got Marcos in first with a 138.45. Eve Dog in second with a 139, almost dead. Alashamp in third with a 277, excuse me. K-Morse in fourth. Michael in fifth. Gaming VR in sixth. ID4 in seventh. Snaker in eighth. Pete Bibb in ninth. Ledther Ron in 10th. Robito Diero in 11th. Joe Black in 12th. And that is it. That is how our 12 drivers will start.
Oh,
like
and
the
there
rain
it
didn't
is.
Hold off.
This is really going to throw a kink in tonight's race for these guys. I hope they prepared for the rain. I did not. Thankfully, I do have an umbrella to stay a little bit dry here.
This is going to be an incredible race. I just hope they can all keep it on track through the first corner, but I'm absolutely certain they will. Seeing the style of driving they've had throughout the season, it's been very impressive.
I have to agree. The level of driving that we've seen so far in these V8 supercars is incredible. And even when these guys they're right up door to door going through the turns, it really is amazing.
They've done a very good job. I mean, really have. So we've just got a little breather in between whilst we wait for the lights to come up.
Yeah, I'm sure all the drivers' nerves are extremely high, as are mine. Preparing to try to keep up with telling y'all who's where going into this first turn in the rain.
I'm fairly sure that most of them would have done some wet weather work in the lead up to the race. So hopefully they got their setups right. That the handlers don't handle quite as bad as I'm almost expecting.
And you never know. Maybe they'll get lucky as the race goes on. It may clear out. It may not. It really is hard to tell here at Gavra Racing. He does an amazing job at setting up the weather system. So it'll be a surprise for all of us, as I believe we are sinking in.
We are.
Not keep the lights, but there they are. They are off. We have Marcos in front, Eve's Dog, K-Morse, Alichamps, Caleb, ID4, Pete, Lead Iron, Rubio, Joe Black, Gaming VR, with Snaker in the rear.
Some tight racing at the front. Second corner.
I just looked at that and realized how close they were. That was incredible turn one out of these guys.
And it was E-Dog who got through. I think I saw a little bit of, I think Snaker off the line got a little bit sideways. I think he had a bit of a spin, which is a bit of a shame. But I don't think he's that far behind the time screens that seem to be running at the moment. Not for me, at least.
Oh, yeah, no, it's... you'll have the commentator's view, so some of the stuff is a little restricted to what you'll actually have on your screen.
Sakitto come up now. As Marcus spins out the corner. He's lost a few positions, but he managed to hold it very well. I have a feeling we're going to see quite a bit of that from almost everybody tonight. In fact, if they manage to do the whole race without a spin at all, then I'm going to be very impressed. It's treacherous out there.
It really does, and I would have to say that is a fantastic camera shot of these guys coming down that back straight.
Looks like we've got Michael side by side with ID4 coming down into the corner.
Oh, as we had, looks like we had one lose the rear end coming around that turn. These guys up front, Allo Champs and K-Morse, are not giving up on each other at all.
And Eve Dog has managed to get a little bit away from the fight that they're having. He's now got 2 seconds, but he went a bit wide out of the second corner. Now the pair of them to pull back up a little bit.
Looks like we already have a few going through the pits. I'm sure to get a little bit of damage fixed. This track looks incredibly treacherous, like you said, Kevin.
They're doing an incredible job so far. We've seen a few minor spins, but nothing too significant. K-Morse and Alasham were right over each other. And mind you, look at how close K-Morse has got up to Eve now.
Oh, he has really closed the difference. He's got himself in a great position, like you said. He's really going to be putting the pressure on him. I want to check on the guys on the back, but I can't turn away from this right here.
I think this is one to watch at the moment. Wow, trying to go down the inside, but there's no traction there. Has he got better? I think he's got better drive off the line. It's going to be very tight coming into this next corner.
K-Morse falling in behind Eve's Dog beautifully. Both of them making it through the corner. Fantastic. This is driving at its best right here, everybody. V8 supercars, Sakitto in the rain, and these guys aren't giving up anything.
And Alasham is keeping very close. I think he's given himself a bit of a breather room, just so he can make his own corners. Just wait to see if either of the two up in front make a mistake. Which neither of them have so far.
Now, it looks like Eve's Dog is going slightly defensive and doing a great job at keeping K-Morse behind him.
I think he is.
But we also have Allo Champs closing in at the moment. He's breaching the 1 second gap, so as they're battling it out, they're going to have Allo Champs right up behind them. And he could find himself in the position to make it all the way to first if they put too much pressure on each other. I'm going to take I'm going to take a risk. I want to check in on Joe. Joe's right here on the back of ID4.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was watching just a second ago. Looking up and down those time screens, we've got quite a few close battles going on. I think ID4 might have just got a bit wide there, but he's managed to hold it and get it back on track. He hasn't lost too much out from Joe either. That one.
as we saw in the last race, if Joe can manage to get in front of him, Joe is a fantastic defensive driver, and it could take the rest of the race before you got a chance to get around him again, if you could do it.
He is, definitely, and he's definitely showing a lot more pace in the race than he was in the than he did in qualifying. Although I think you're right. I think we would have seen a lot more out of him if he hadn't stayed out.
And while we were talking about Joe, K-Morse managed to. No, they're still in the same spot. They're just all a lot closer. I'm sorry, everybody.
Alashamp is just a lot closer than he was before.
Yeah, he's making it really tough for K-Morse to try to make a move on Eve's dog. It's really hard to try to make the move and defend from the guy behind all at the same time. I've never had to been in that position actually yet. Can you actually do that?
Oh, Eve Dog just spun out of the corner, which has allowed K-Morse through. And Alashamp is still with him. I don't think this puts Eve Dog too far back. So hopefully he's going to be able to get back up onto them.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like he's made a good recovery, and he's not very far behind him. And now he's not under any of the pressure except for trying to catch them at the moment.
Ravito, just looking at the time screens, must have had an incredible start, because I think he was back down in about 8th to start with. He's now up in 4th. He's only 6 seconds behind the leader. So about 2 seconds behind Eve Dog.
Yeah, he is actually having an incredible start to this race. I did not realize he had managed to come on up the field the way he did.
I just noticed it just then. And then we've not got too far back. We've got ID4 and a battle with Joe going on. Joe does seem to have dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like ID4 has got a solid 3 seconds lead on Joe at the moment, and Joe has Marcos closing
Marcos
up.
the company. Yep.
And we will get to see. We bragged on Joe's defending, and we'll see if Marcos can get by him here in a second.
We saw how well Marcos swept up the field in last week's race, so I think we're going to see quite a battle here.
If I get a chance, also in the back we have Led the Iron, who is closing up on the back of Gaming VR. I believe he's bouncing back and forth between about 2 seconds and a second and a half. Led's a strong driver, though. I think he has a good chance of catching Gaming VR. But I hope they do. We'll see a battle out of those two. I've got to check on the leaders, y'all. I'm scared to go away from Marcos and Joe Black. It's the commentator's curse. He's going to pass him. He's going to pass him as soon as I check on these two.
I think this fight is. I think we got a second for this one, but the Joe fight I think is what was going on.
Yeah, that is definitely the imminent battle at the moment. You are 100% correct.
I'm not sure. Marcus has dropped a little bit further back. Not much.
He's bouncing back and forth, and there we see.
I think Ravito just had an off because he's just dropped back from 4th up to 9th, or down to 9th.
Oh, he spun out and got
I think
the wall.
he's decided, there's a lot of damage on that car.
Yeah, he was having a great race too. Go back to these guys. Marcos and Joe Black have now moved up.
Well, however, the K-Morse fight is also heating up now. I think that one is actually...
This one's fixing to get really hot right here. You are right. Good call on watching the times there.
Alasham had a little bit of a
separate.
wiggle out of. Yeah, I think he had a bit of a wiggle out of that corner, Alasham, but managed to hold Joe off. Sorry, Kane Morse off. Got a watch him for a second. My excuse is their cars are very similar. There's still, I should notice.
So I want to see Hamilton's cockpit for just a second here. He's getting really close, and then he loses just a little bit of distance on our champs. I had to see for myself how scary it was in the rain coming up on the back of these V8 supercars.
Seeing the brake markers when you're racing this close behind something must be next to impossible, and you just get a bit of a brief glimpse as they go past you. Alasham went a little bit wide, but it hasn't given K-Morse much of a. He's just taking a different angle into the next corner. I think he actually managed to open up a little bit of a gap. Very little one.
Yeah, at this point it may just be who can push a little bit harder and manage to keep the car on the track and on the driest line possible for these two. As K-Morse gets a little wide. Let's go back and check on.
I was just looking at that time screen, and Joe has actually managed to keep Marcos behind him. But by the looks of when we joined, it looks like Marcos would have him go, but there was no room.
And Vito has managed to get himself back out on track and get in front of Led the Iron, and is closing on Gaming VR.
They are, yeah, he's very, very close. We already know that Rubito has been running with very good pace, having been up at the port previously and holding it.
Yes, Rubito seems to have an incredible rain pace going on tonight.
Well, it looks like the rain's dying down a little bit. But the track is still very wet at the moment. So even if the rain stops, I think it's going to be a little while before we see any transition on the slicks. If the rain actually does stop.
And we have 9 laps left, so yeah, we may not see anyone do a tire change. Even if it dries up, it may be close enough to the end where they decide that it's not worth it to try a tire change.
Right. And not only that, but also I think the rain being looking a bit lighter was a bit of an optical illusion, because it certainly didn't go through those few corners.
What was it?
I think Gaming VR may have just... Nope, because Rubito, I think, also went off the track.
we've got a wet camera, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know why it likes to stick on that camera with the water on it. Yeah, it looked like Gaming VR got a little bit wide, and Rubito managed to get by him, but then it looked like he might have hit that puddle in the turn and hydroplaned, and it shot him right on off. Which I really hate for him. Other than that, he's having a really good night.
That's one thing I have noticed driving in the rain, is that the puddles do just collect on corners. We can see in that view just there. That illustrates my point perfectly.
Yeah. And
it makes the...
That was just in time to catch Joe with a fantastic pass, on Marcos there.
Wow, that must mean that Marcos had got by and Joe's just taken back the position.
Yes, I think we missed that altogether. How, I don't know. But I think that it may have been a very fast change-up, because Joe really did tuck to the inside and managed to get by on the inside of the turn. Beautiful. It was a fantastic move.
It was.
Joe Black is really showing his skills in the V8 supercars in this summer miniseries.
in any conditions too. It's been very impressive to watch. And Marcos, as we know, is a very, very fast driver, so he's got a lot of pressure on him too. Just trying to work out.
Oh, as Marcos had to move but managed to go a little bit wide, leaving Joe to keep his spot and opening up a little bit of distance.
And it looks like K. Morse has opened. Alashamp has. Oh! Alashamp has overtaken K. Morse and actually extended his gap to 2.5 seconds now. I think it was the other way around before.
I'm having a hard time remembering now that you bring it up. I had thought. Let me go look at this guys real fast. I had thought it would have been the ongoing battle between K. Morse and Huge Dog.
Looking at the colouring of, looking at the colouring of cars, I think you're right. I think Eve Dog was out in front. Then Eve Dog had a bit of a spin out of the corner, but I think K. Morse did get out of that in front of Alashamp, so it does mean I think Alashamp has at some point taken the lead, and he's really extended that lead now. It's up to 4 seconds. He himself is coming up to, I'm assuming it's level 1.
Yeah, he's closing in on someone. Yep.
Yes, it's a blue flag.
It almost looks like. Yep, that was so. He has already lapped Led Iron and made it past Rubito, which was great sportsmanship and driving from Rubito, moving out of the way for the leader.
As always, I mean everybody in Gavra is fantastic at respecting the front runners coming through. It's brilliant.
Oh, and we have Marcos. Why is Marcos going through the pit? I hope he did not pick up a drive-through. I'm trying to look through. No,
it's possible
no
that
tires.
he had a little. Oh, I wonder whether he's maybe going to another set of tyres or.
That's really going to hurt his position, though.
It is.
Which
Just trying to think, do they have intermediates?
I'm not sure if they do or not for the V8 supercars. They may only have rain or wets or slicks.
I think that may well be the case. So in which case, I think it's still far too wet for slicks. So maybe he picked up a bit of damage somewhere.
He could have maybe picked up some suspension damage or something, and we're just not seeing it on camera. Let's open it up for Pete. Pete has managed to have himself a good race tonight, and if he stays on it, well, he's only 4 seconds behind Joe, so he could catch him. And speaking of Joe, Chef agrees with us that Joe is having a fantastic run in the V8 Supercars tonight.
He really is. I mean, he's been at a very consistent pace throughout the race, and it shows in the position he's in. He's kept himself out of trouble, and I mean, well, not just out of trouble, but defended Marcos for being at least 6 laps now.
Yeah, and that had to really hurt to have Marcos behind you. Marcos is definitely a really fast driver, and it looked like he was really putting the pressure on him. So I imagine Joe was really feeling it while he was back there trying to.
I'm absolutely certain. You were asking a while ago about the speed coming into that first corner. They're reaching about 166 on the straight, or at least Joe was, and he drops down to 144 on turn-in. So yeah, very, very fast turns. Sorry, very fast speed through the first corners, despite the rain.
Let me check in just real fast with some of the guys in the back, and then I want to go back and try to see if we maybe can go around a whole lap with Joe's cockpit view, because he has been on some good runs. Right now we've got Snaker at his last lap of 156. So he's trying to put the rubber down and see if he can catch up with a few people.
He's putting in lap times which are very comparable to the two front runners. I think he's only a second off. His last lap was 155, and I think he's 155.5, I think it was, and he was about a second off Alisham.
Oh,
wow, I think Eve Dog just managed to get past K-Morse as we were talking about that.
Somehow he's got is that almost a 5-second lead now? 4 seconds? 3?
Yeah.
Looks like K-Morse
3 to 4
is chopping the time down. And he has ID4. Yeah, ID4 is right behind him.
So this could be a bit of a hot battle to finish. 4 laps to go, and 3 of them within, I think they're within a second of each other.
It does look to me as if it may be stopping to try to rain. It didn't look like it was raining as hard on the front of the track as it is here on the back side of the track. That turn they just ID4 just went through, looks like it's holding a lot of water though. I don't know if that'll dry out by the end of the race or not.
With only 4 laps to go, I think it's be a bit of a tall order, but there is a lot of water building up on the tracks. Big splash up in front, so I think somebody just went through it.
You see, right through here, it doesn't appear to be raining hardly at all. So I think the rain may be trying to stop for the guys. Hopefully it'll clear out for the second race, and I know they'll be a lot happy with, which could really make it interesting.
The second race keeping very close. Very, very close to the back of K-Morse. I think K-Morse is keeping Eve Dog's gap about the same, but it's up 3 seconds now, so no, it's dropping a little bit, so he's definitely defending to ID4.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's there's that fine line between taking the defensive line or just trying to straight out outrun your opponent. Which I guess the experienced drivers know in which to do. I always choose the wrong one. Personally, when I should defend, I try to outrun, and when I should try to outrun, I try to defend.
It's difficult getting that balance. I most certainly haven't got it myself, so but some of these drivers most certainly do. Oh, K-Morse. I'm not sure whether that was a defensive line or just a little bit of a twitch out of the corner. Either way, it worked. ID4 is certainly putting pressure on him now, and here we've got the wet camera again.
That one camera, you'd think they'd move the camera so it didn't get splashed by the water so much.
Or at least take it out of the circulation. But,
that would be even better. Yeah.
We've got a lot of pulling on the even straights now coming out of that dogleg chicane. How do you describe it actually? It's not quite a U, not quite a hairpin, but equally not a chicane either.
ID4 is really refusing to let K-Morse go. He's got a plenty buffer. He's got about 11 seconds between him and Joe. Joe, I believe, is sitting kind of comfortable himself at the moment.
I think he is. Yeah. He's got Pete behind him, 2 seconds. Gap is keeping relatively regular, but the real battle is definitely between K-Morse and ID4.
Yeah, they are the only ones that are close enough that could potentially make a move at this moment. Not. Oh, go ahead.
Despite the battle between the two of them, Eve Dog's not getting away from them that quickly. I think over the last 3 laps, he's pulled out 2 seconds. So, as in 2 further seconds.
So K-Morse is really trying to reel in Eve Dog then. We have 2 laps left. He may. You never know. As just like Pete is getting close, he's starting to get close enough to make a move on Joe. Just over a second behind him. Looks like he fell back a little bit. It looks like he's getting close, and then he's falling back a little bit of a back and forth between those two.
I think the battle between Eve Dog and K-Morse and ID4 and Joe and Pete, 2 close battles going on at the moment. I think apart from that, everybody's a bit spread out. We've seen some very hot battles throughout this race. It's been yet another display of exceptional driving. I really do think that rain has definitely cut down now. At least in certain parts of the track.
Yeah, at some parts of the track it looks like it may have completely quit, but yeah, I think we were on lap 15 of 16, so they don't have much time if they're gonna try to make up one more position.
I think ID4 tried to take a bit more pace through that corner than the corner allowed. Mind you, he's closed that gap back up very quickly.
Yeah, he really is. He's pushing it. He knows he's getting down to the end. I wouldn't think, since it's been raining pretty much the whole race, I wouldn't think that they've worn through their tires too bad, but it's hard to tell with these V8 supercars because they can really chew up the tires.
They can, definitely, but I think you're right. I think most likely their tyres are still going to be good. It's only really when you get patchy dry and patchy wet that the wet tyres on the other cars I've driven seem to degrade down. So hopefully they've still got relatively decent tyres. It's been a long race.
Check to see where our leader is. He has just started his last lap. I'm gonna try and stick with our leader for his final lap. He's deserved it. I'm gonna keep an eye on ID4 and K-Morse though, just to make sure.
He's pulled himself out a 17-second lead, so he's had a fantastic drive. I think at one point he was back down in either 3rd or 4th, so he's had a brilliant recovery drive. And then just a second he was in front, just waved goodbye to everybody else and drove off.
Yeah, he really did.
It's certainly stopped. It's definitely stopped here now. But I mean, with 1 lap to go, there's most certainly going to be no tyre changes, but that could change the conditions for the last lap.
Looks like,
or is this the last lap?
This is the last lap. Pete and Joe I gotta look real fast. He's not quite in the position to get it done. We may see the last bit out of those, but I can't let myself miss Alo Champs come across the line.
I'll keep an eye on the timing screens.
Right. He's coming down the back straight. We got just a second for ID4 and K-Morse. Because I'm sure ID4 is going to. I think ID4 is probably doing everything he's got right here. There he is. There's our winner coming around the last turn. Very well-deserved win from Alo Champs with the #1 position. giving us a nice flash of the lights.
That was a fantastic drive.
And just in time to see Dog coming around the last turn. He also has had a fantastic race.
Keeping an eye on the K-Morse ID4 battle, but I don't think...
I think K-Morse managed to get him a little bit of the space there. And I don't, I'm not seeing any penalties for any of these guys whatsoever. So I don't think we're going to have any change up from penalties. We got Joe coming across the line. Joe had a fantastic race. That is a great race tonight, Joe. I can't praise you enough for the race you just had. That was phenomenal.
Fantastic job. Absolutely brilliant.
He also a great job tonight. Caleb also, all these drivers, like I said, no penalties from anyone. All these drivers really showing how good they are.
It's been fantastic from everybody.
Marco's had a big back and forth race, didn't he?
He did. I think it was with Joe for the majority of it.
Oh, here we go. If you want to give us our rundown before we miss it.
Yep, so in first we got Alashamp with a very impressive race. 20-second gap it's showing. Dog in second and K-Morse in third. Then in fourth we got ID4. Fifth, Joe Black. Sixth, Pete Bibb. Seventh, Michael. Eighth, Marcos. Ninth, Snaker. 10th, Gaming VR. 11th, Ledtheron. And have we lost somebody? Because I'm fairly sure 12 started.
I thought we did too. We may have had a disconnect. There has been a lot. We've been having some issues with the PlayStation Network over the last week or two.
We certainly did last night, didn't we? We unfortunately lost 2 or 3 drivers through disconnects, I think, in GT3 League.
And this is just we are resetting, y'all, and these guys are gonna go back out for, I believe they said they were gonna do a short practice before the next sprint race, and we're gonna get to see these guys go at it all over again. Excuse me. Like I said, it really is the second one that really gets me excited, because we know all the guys are heated from the last battle.
And by the looks of the end of the last race, I think it was drying out, so we may well not have any rain in the second race, which means conditions will be totally different for the race. I mean, obviously, we've got a practice session and then qualifying, haven't we? So.
Yes, if they do end up doing the short one, but while we do have a break, me and Toby, we're going to take this moment to advertise for Gavra Racing to y'all. If you like the racing that you see going on, and honestly, I don't see how you could not look at that race that you just watched and say you didn't like that. That was an amazing race from all of the drivers involved. You can check us out at gavraracing.ultravista.org. He also, I just noticed, has gone through and he's steady making some more improvements to the website. He added a bunch of stuff, I think, yesterday or the day before that looked really cool. There's a Discord link at the bottom of the channel. And here soon, I believe he is already taking enrollments for the Gavra Academy for new drivers. All you have to do is, the instructions are on the webpage. You just get with him, send him a message. He'll get right back to you. And Toby, you are one of our newer drivers, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I started in GT3 League, the Summer League, this summer. We're on we're going into our final race next Thursday. Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic, I have to admit. It's been really great finding a community of people who enjoy enjoy racing for starters, and with the emphasis on clean. It's because, as you saw in that race, even in the rain, it was all, well, there was no contact at all from what I saw. I've really enjoyed it. It's been brilliant.
Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I think you've been doing pretty good in the GT3 race, and I'm looking forward to racing with you in the next season.
I'm very much looking forward to that. It's been great. I mean, the summer league is almost like a taster season for what the rest of Gavra is about, from what I understand. And from what I've seen, it's something I'm very glad that I became part of, because it's been so much fun. And not only is the racing enjoyable, it's extremely clean racing, but the community too is fantastic. Everybody is extremely welcoming. I felt immediately welcomed the second I joined Discord and sessions in the PS4. So I cannot recommend it highly enough. I really can't.
And let's see. Yep, they have themselves just a little bit of a practice. I hope Alichamps isn't going out on track just because I put the camera on him and missing out on a break. From my experience, it is definitely nice to get that short breather in between these two races, because like I keep saying, for me, that second race is extremely heated.
But it does give them a chance to test what it'll be like on race fuel on a dry track, because the track does seem to be dry now. So hopefully for the next two sessions, they'll both be dry, both qualifying and the second race, and we'll get to see what they can really do. Not the last race wasn't just demonstration enough, but it would be brilliant to see them being able to get that bit closer and just keeping that pressure on. I got the idea that some of them were having to back off a little bit just to give themselves space in the conditions that they were last race.
I also felt the same way, Toby. Now that you bring that up, yeah, it really looked like they wanted to get closer to each other, but were trying to, like you said, allow themselves that little bit of room.
I mean, one major thing in the West is obviously the braking distance are completely different. So, with close racing like that, you've got to, I suppose, give yourself that extra bit of thinking time before you extended braking time. They're very intelligent driving from everybody, really.
And I never did get to go on board with Joe during the race. We had the other battle going on. Excuse me.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, and he's going to go in the pit as soon as I was going to go on board with him. Maybe he'll come back out in a second, and during the next race, I will definitely get back out there, Joe, and because I want to go through the one of your laps in the cockpit view. You've had a great race, great runs. So yeah, enjoy your break, and we'll get with you and do a cockpit run sometime during the race or your qualifying. We have K-Morse.
I think E-Dog had. Yep. I think E-Dog had a fantastic race in that last one too, I have to say. Because he made that little bit of a mistake on one of the corners. I think he dropped back a few positions in a couple of seconds. And despite that, he just kept the pressure on and then ended up in second. So, very great drive from him too.
I'm not sure who it was. I could have swore I just saw someone completely miss the turn back there.
There was. They decided that they weren't going to take the racing line. They were just going to take the direct route.
Well, they don't call it a supercar for no reason. Let's check in on Gaming VR. He did not have a bad race at all last race. I think he did pretty good. He did pretty good in the Clio Cup League. And I'm so caught up in this race, y'all. I really think he's racing with me and Toby in the GT3 race as well. But my brain isn't wanting to process that information at the moment.
He's definitely raced one race with us. He was, I think he replaced somebody else. If I'm honest, I wasn't on the pack last night, so I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure who was in the race last night. You can see very many people. But let me have a quick look and see whether he is on the. No, he's not on the leaderboard. So I'm assuming. I think he was just a replacement for 1 week in the GT3s. Talking about driver standings, I will just quickly run through the driver standings for the V8 supercars. So first with 108 points, we've got Eve Dog. Second with 75, we've got IG4. So not a huge gap between them, bearing in mind there's this round and one more, I believe, to go. So yeah, that could change there. Gaming VR is third with 66 points. Abito in fourth with 61. K-Morse in fifth with 54. Marcos in sixth with 51. Alashamp seventh with 45. Joe Black eighth with 40. Dutch Musso 31 in ninth. And Michael in 10th with 27. But close behind him is Pete actually with 24. Then 12th we've got Snaker and 13th Almost Rare. Almost Rare couldn't race tonight, and Dutch Musso also isn't racing tonight, so those positions will certainly change. Yeah, we've got some quite close gaps. Third and fourth, just 5 points in it. And fifth and sixth, just 3. So, and then seventh and eighth we've got 5. So yeah, there's all to play for in these next two rounds. I think Alashamp, who won that last race quite convincingly, well, pushed himself up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Alashamp perform extremely well again, as he already, during their little practice session here, he's already has the fastest time. And I'm sure surely they're just trying to get a little bit of a feel for the track, see where the grip is, where it isn't, before the, what is it, 5-minute qualifying next time on this next round, Toby, is that correct?
It is a 5-minute qualifying, followed by a 10-lap race. I think the other thing they're doing is getting the opportunity to have little experiences like that in the dry as opposed to the wet. See how close they can get, and how confident they are that they can keep close and make those tighter overtakes than they probably could in the wet.
Yeah, it has to be a little difficult to go straight from that wet track to we have a little bit of contact during the practice there.
I think somebody was going slowly through the corner. I think Gaming was going slowly through the corner, and Snaker I've just clipped his back end. Don't think it's slowly, but easing him down too much.
So we have a couple of them returning to the pit. Yeah, I don't blame these guys at all for sitting in the pit. For me, that brief little, just this little bit of time they have between races is really nice to get up, stretch, grab you a quick drink, and try to get your nerves to settle back down. Me personally, my nerves are just bad anyway, so I try to get them settled, but it don't happen.
It's very difficult. Very difficult calming yourself down between races, especially if you've had, well, either a good or a bad race in the first race, because if you've had a bad race and apprehensive for the second, but if you've had a good race, you're buzzing for the first, and sometimes even those nerves can be a little bit off-putting, but a drink of water quite often calms me down.
VR doing right now. Last lap was a 1:45.9. Yeah, I think you're right, Toby. They are definitely just checking the track out, seeing how fast they can push, how the car is going to react. Gaming VR really sends the cones way up in there. Me personally, I can't help it. I have to hit the cones if it's possible. I don't know why. I cannot help it.
I think sometimes they're magnetised. They have to be, the amount of times they hit the front of my car sometimes. But I was just looking at the timing screens, and I think Marcos has stayed in the pits. So either he's decided to take this time for a little bit of break, or he just doesn't want to show his pace for the second qualifying session.
Well, he had a really good pace the last race, so he may be trying to hide his pace just a little bit on this dry track.
He did, yeah. He was our pole sitter in the first race too. But unfortunately, he didn't have quite as clean a race, just because of track conditions. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he can do in this race.
And that's the end of their short little free practice there. Guys, thank you for running around the track, giving us a little something extra to talk about during the break, and sacrificing y'all's stretching time.
So we had Alashamp up in front, and he was second, I believe, in qualifying the first race. And then Gaming VR, very, very close behind him as well. I don't think Gaming had I don't think his qualifying session in the first race was apologies, my controller died. I don't think his first race was, his first qualifying session was that great, so hopefully we'll see a lot more out of him in this qualifying session.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see a big change up in some of the starting positions in this race. I was trying to stick with Marcos for a second, since we believe he was trying to hide his time a little bit. He can't hide now, he's out on camera. We have Caleb is still sitting in the pit. You're down to just over 3 minutes. You might want to hurry up and get out there.
You don't want to sit in the pits too long during the second qualifying session.
It can really hurt you.
Yeah, it really can. All I did was I changed my fuel load and possibly my tyres in the second qualifying last night, and I only just finished my first hot lap before the time ran out.
That also is about what I got, and all I did was just change my fuel load real quick and try to get out there as fast as I could.
It's definitely throws the cat among the pigeons, this short qualifying session. I think that was somebody going on. Yellow car, I'm not sure who it was.
I believe it...
Snaker.
I believe it may have been Snaker, and Aloe Champs is also in a yellow car. I believe it was Snaker that had spun out.
I think it was, because I think it was a different section of the track.
We have... Pete is the first one on this short qualifying to set a time of a 1:52. He's already showed us he can do faster. We saw 1:38s in the rain. So what's your prediction for the dry weather, Toby?
It was a dry qualifying. I think it was,
wasn't it?
That we had a 1:38.5, which was Marcus's time. So I think. Well, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Obviously, a lot more pressure to put a whole lap together in the 5-minute qualifying session, so around a 140 mark, maybe?
Yeah, and you really have to kind of tread that line between trying to put the best lap you can in and risking invalidating your time, or just setting a decent time that you know you can at least get around the track and manage to set some type of time.
Exactly. a bit of a banker just to make sure you're on time screens.
Yeah, because you really don't want to. It's one thing to start from the back because you didn't get a good time, but it's another thing to start from the back because you didn't manage to set a time.
Very much so, yeah.
That can be a little bit of a morale boost downer right from the start of the race.
It can, which then puts you
wide back there.
Yeah, he did. He hasn't actually set the time yet, so unfortunately I don't think he's going to be able to get one in. But no, it's definitely not putting a time in. It puts that added bit of pressure on you to try and take off the line, which sometimes is not the pressure you need when you're starting a race.
Yeah, no, it really isn't. Yeah, it looks like
142, but
30 seconds left before the final. I believe it gave them about a minute to finish the lap if they were on one. So
yep. So
it looks like a couple of these guys are going to be close on setting the time, Toby.
Yeah. I think they're going to be very, very close. And at the moment we've got Alichamp at the front with 139.7. So we're very close to 140 prediction, which was a pretty good guess if I say so myself. And Evedog just behind him with 140.838. Gaming VR has indeed set a much more representative time in this qualifying session with 140.9. Michael has just got himself in front of Snaker.
I believe K-Morse is going to be our last person to set a time.
K-Morse has just put himself up front with 138.9.
K-Morse coming across at the end with no time and shot himself all the way to the top. That was a very impressive run, Toby. I must say.
It really was. Yeah, no, that was a great last lap. 138.9. That's only, I think, 4/10 off the qualifying pace of the first session. And that was set by Marcos, who doesn't seem to have really strung together a lap in this one with a 146. Oh, having said that, he just put himself up into second with a 139 pretty much dead. What a great way to finish that qualifying session.
Yeah, it gets right there to the end and it'll put you on autopilot. If you want to run us down.
So, in first, on pole position with a 138.9, we got K-Morse on his last lap. Marcos in second, and again that was his last lap, and just suddenly shot up 139.0. Alichamp third with a 139.4. Evedog fourth. Gaming VR fifth. Michael sixth. ID4 seventh. I'll get back to that in just a second. Snaker in eighth. Nettleflon in ninth. 10th we got Pete, and then Joe back in 11th. I think there's a few of those who didn't manage to get a time set, so they may well be out of position. And we know that Joe had a great race in the first one, as did Pete, I believe, and Nettleflon. So yeah, we should be in for a good one. Just waiting for the lights hopefully to appear this time, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a shot go like it was last time. And it does seem to be taking a little bit of time between qualifying and the race, but I think they're just making sure they've got the right fuel on board, using the right tyres. They're happy to go.
Yep. And once again, I had my mic on mute and was talking my head off.
I was just about to ask you whether you'd you had.
I had. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to give us the light from this camera angle. Sometimes it just doesn't, but yeah, hopefully we'll get synced in a second. and I will try to keep up with everybody at least through turn 1 again.
So we've got a bit of a different front row this time. We've got Kamos and Marcos. And then behind them we've got Alsham and Eve Dog. So,
and I believe, yep, there we are sinking in. We should have some grids going off. And they're off. We've got Kmors, Marcos, followed by Alachamps. Used Dog just made it by Alachamps, followed by Gamer, ID4, Snaker, Pete, led the Iron Show, and Caleb in the back. And Kmors has really made him. It was Alachamps, was it, last time that made off with the first?
Not to start with, no. I think, I'm not sure who it was. I think Eve Dog was
I believe
the front runner for the first few laps. No, Kmors this time is definitely. He just had a great start. Looked like he was rolling very slightly in his box, but he hadn't gone past the line, so he doesn't seem to have had any penalties from it. I think that bit of rolling has just allowed him to get the traction down when the lights actually went.
Lap 1, we've got Snaker really close to the back of Used Dog. Caleb is keeping up with Pete, who is also not very far from ID4. But the Iron springing up the rear. He must have had a little bit of trouble. Yep, it looks like he's already had him a little bit of trouble. And Gamer VR got a little loose and spun it on the inside.
He must have cut the glass slightly.
And he must have hit the grass, and that curb must have really pulled him in something fierce.
So Marcus is most certainly keeping Kmors honest up in front. 7/10 gap at the moment. And Marcus seems to be much happier in the dry than he was in the wet.
I'm sure all of them are a lot happier to have a dry track this time. Oh yeah, you're right, Toby. Marcos is really not letting Kmors go. He's really trying to put the hurt on him. But I think we had another outstanding first lap here at Sakitto from these guys in the V8 Supercars.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, I think almost everybody has made it through completely cleanly.
Marcos is really looking for the opportunity, isn't he?
I know, I keep on hesitating because I think he's going to go for it, but he's not.
He's lining
not quite,
him up
but
for
he is
it.
now. I think he might have a faster run out of this corner. He can get himself alongside.
Kmors making that car really wide on him. He's gonna. I think Marcos is gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say I think Marcos is gonna have a hard time getting by through that corner if he tries to go side by side.
That corner is pretty much impossible to go side by side through. It's a flat out corner and leading into so it kicks left and then kicks right. So you have to be very careful to go side by side through there.
But I believe Kmors may have picked up a penalty at some point, so that could open Marcos up for the win if Kmors can't get a big enough lead in front of him to make up whatever his penalty is. Let's check on the guys in the back. Snaker's back and forth. He's not wanting to let Used Dog and Alachamps go.
Yeah. Eve Dog. So there hasn't really been much change up in front. I think they're all in exactly their starting positions actually in the top four.
Towards the back we've got Caleb. He is not letting ID4 go. He's just out of range to make a move. If he can close the gap just a little, he'll have himself in a good spot. And I'm watching the times. It looks like Joe is really putting the pressure on.
Is getting very, Marcus is getting very, sorry to interrupt, but getting very close to K-Morse.
Oh, good call as they're going, look, side by side down the straight again. I think we're going to see those two really hammering it out just like this for the entire race.
I think you're right. I think that final set of corners is just giving K-Morse that little bit of a gap because Marcus just can't keep alongside him. And then Marcus is using the rest. Oh, as I say that, he looks like he's not quite going to lunge down the inside, but he's very close. But yeah, I was just going to say that Marcus is using the rest of the lap to try and close that gap and giving him enough speed to get out of that corner on that last straight. Not many overtaking spots around Sakitto.
No, it really doesn't look like there are very many. It's all, especially in these cars as fast as they're driving, it looks like they're almost completely flat out on most of the turns. And they need every inch of track they can get. As we can tell, so we have several people starting to show up red, carrying some type of time penalty at this point. So K-Morse really needs to keep a minimum of a second plus lead on Marcos, or he could lose the position at the end of it just because of his penalty.
Yep. Just looking at the time screens, Eve-Dog seems to have dropped back from Alichamp a bit. Marcus just gets penalty himself. So yeah, Eve-Dog appears now to be closing up on Alichamp.
Yeah, apparently the racing director for Sakitto really does not like it when you go wide in the dry weather. Very forgiving apparently in the wet, but he does not like it in the dry.
Of course, we didn't see any penalties at all in the first race, but we've got an almost entirely red.
Yeah, we have
the screen on the left.
Yeah, almost half our pack is now carrying some type of time penalty for track limits. So, shame on the race director. I haven't seen anything that I would say deserves it out of these guys, especially after the last race. He should take that into account.
The race director in the races on project cars, it keeps it clean, but at the same time, I think sometimes it could be toned down just a little bit. It's very intense.
I can get behind him and agree with him on most of the tracks, but as we're seeing here tonight on this track, he can be a little extreme on some tracks for no reason whatsoever. Yveston really not letting Alichamps go at the moment, as it looks like Marcos has just got under a second from K-Morse.
And now we can actually see Alichamp and Eve-Dog right at the tail of Marcos.
Yeah,
this could become a four-way battle in a couple of laps.
I believe we are fixing to see that battle. Let me check on Caleb real quick because he is really close to ID4, still not letting him go. These two, I think, is definitely going to be an interesting battle as it goes on.
This we seem to be having quite a lot of packs of racing in this race.
Yeah, this track in the dry is definitely a whole different track for these guys to tackle in these V8 supercars.
And IG4 seems to be keeping Michael behind him. I don't think there's much movement in that.
I think they're going to stay about where they are for the moment, which we are getting down. That's how fast this race is. We are already just over halfway. We're down to 4 laps left. We're on lap 6 of 10. So yeah, the pressure is really going to keep.
Oh wow, Marcos and K-Morse, we've got some action up the front.
Marcos trying to go for
going down the inside. Wow. Can he hold it? As in,
I don't. Oh, both of them
I think
managed
they
to
both
go
went wide, but
wide.
they both held it.
And
Horse has very, very graciously let Kate and Marcos through. I think. I think Marcos got a penalty because of. I think Marcos got a slowdown because of track extremities, which is why he slowed down coming out of the corner, even though Kate Horse had let him through. That was a shame.
yeah, they really, before they even knew it, they had Champs and Used Dog right there behind them, putting all the pressure on. So we now have Haymorphs under pressure from Champs, and we have Used Dog looks like he's gonna try for the inside. Yes.
And he's got it.
Champs running a little wide,
Champ
but
went a
managed.
little bit wide.
He did a great job of keeping it on track.
So now Eve Dog.
Go ahead.
Eve Dog is right on the back. Eve Dog is right on the back of Cables now. And what a shame for Marcos. So, I don't really know what went on going into that corner, but it was, yeah, I don't think it was particularly anybody's fault. I think both of them just went a little bit wide, but sadly, and he's come straight back up onto Alichamp.
Yeah, it looked like just neither driver was willing to give an inch. Neither one of them wanted to back out. Some very competitive drivers, which I personally like to see most of the time. Especially as, when you have a good understanding of the other drivers. It didn't really look like there was any contact. They're not going to let each other go.
They're not, no. They're keeping it very, very close. Up in front, Eve Dog is also keeping Camel's honest. More than honest, they're 2/10 separated. And Marcus has got Mars Alichamp.
We are going to have an interesting finish here, Toby. If these guys keep at it the way they are, it is going to come down to penalties telling us who was on the podium and in what positions here.
Exactly. I think Alichamp sitting in fourth with no penalties is sitting quite pretty. I don't know how much in the way of penalties everybody else has, but the minimum is obviously 1. So if we can keep within 1 second of Marcos, then we can quite easily take that second without even passing on track. 2 laps to go, I think there's not much time left.
No, there isn't, and I still have not forgot about wanting to get on board with Joe Black, and I think I'm going to have to message him after the race and apologize big time because I cannot get away from this action from all these guys on these last couple laps, and I feel really bad for not getting in there and doing that cockpit cam around the lap.
What's going on in front of us between Michael and ID4 is very impressive.
Hopefully Joe will forgive me for it.
I'm sure he will.
None of these drivers are giving up. They have got to be just flat out through there. Who would you like to look at?
I was just thinking the Michael ID4 battle, because I think that might have... I think it was extremely close a second ago. It was about 1/10 between them.
And of course, as I started mentioning Joe has made it around Gaming VR and managed to get up in C9. Gaming VR must have been really hard for Joe to get around through there. And yeah, like you said, we have Michael getting close again. They're keeping me on my toes on these last couple of laps here, Toby. I can't. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the camera work for them.
We've got so many battles going on. I think, yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Marcos Eve Dog situation, but I don't think they're that close at the moment. let you know if that changes.
Yeah, they're not
Oh, they...
quite close enough, are they? Oh, very
wow, help,
impressive
Mike.
move. That was a
Wow.
fantastic catch to that
Yeah.
slide.
That was very impressive driving.
As these two have not let each other go the whole race either.
Oh wow, now we have
to
got
get
this
him.
matchup. Eve Dog and Marcos, I think. We've got...
Yeah, Marcos is trying to get himself lined up for the move. And maybe he can get in the draft and manage to get himself lined up to go down the inside. Looks like he's still a little too far back there.
1 lap to go. It looks like he's just decided I'm going to go for it, and I mean cleanly, obviously, but I'm going to just take all out of the corners I possibly can, and he really is.
On the back of ID4, not letting him go. I think ID4 is safe. Joe's closing in. No, he's got Gamer VR closing in on him.
I think that's Pete coming up behind Michael and ID4.
I believe it is. Where's our... Can't miss our leader. Okay, K-Morse has just...
Looking at the timing screens, I think Marcos must have had a little bit of an off at some point. He's dropped back from, I believe, he was in second at one point, and he's dropped back to fourth now.
And yeah, Joe lost his ninth place position somewhere in all of that too.
It looks like we were right. Tyres are certainly coming into play in this last lap.
It really is. And I'm sure as we have our winner coming across the line, K-Morse with a great win. He really went out and stole that, and I believe he should have enough of a gap, I hope, to maintain that first position behind Eve's Dog.
Well, Eve's Dog got a penalty too, so
I think
that might give him the buffer he needs.
Yeah, I believe my money may be on Champs. Oh!
Ooh.
Go. Nice cool down lap incident. As we have ID4, Michaela, Pete. What have to move the camera?
Champ is really, really close to Eve Dog, so... And I think he was also very close... No, I think he was very close to Eve Dog, so I think we might possibly see a little bit of a change there, because of course Champ doesn't have any penalties at all.
And these two going at it right there down to the line. Joe trying to catch up if he can, but not quite enough to get in there. And we have Led the Iron coming in. He should be able to get back around before. He should be able to make it around there before the timer runs out. I'm very curious to see how we're going to sit after these penalties.
It'll be interesting because obviously at the moment we don't know how much in the way of penalties everybody's got. But
there is a way to check, but I'm terrified I will accidentally hit the circle button and back us out of this whole thing. So it's just not worth it for me to try to run that risk right now, especially right here at the end with such two great races out of these guys.
And it gives that little bit of anticipation as to what the final leaderboard is going to be, and so we got them there.
So it has not changed them around for us.
It hasn't. Nope, not very much at all.
But if you will give us that rundown anyway, we'll let them figure that out later.
So our podium is first K-Morse, second with Eve Dog, and in third we got Alashamp. So no changes there. Fourth we got Marcos, fifth Snaker, sixth ID4, seventh Pete Bibb, eighth Gaming VR, ninth Joe Black, 10th we got Michael, and 11th we got Led the Iron. Yeah, a very good race from everybody.
And
In fact, two incredible races, which, I mean, from the previous races we've had, we just come to expect now from V8 supercars. It's thoroughly entertaining, and the beautiful thing is that we don't really have much that we have to think of to say because it's just all happening in front of us.
yeah,
It's fantastic.
if we can just manage to just say whatever they're managing to do on track, then yeah, our job is done with these guys. But yeah, Chef just said on the live feed that he agrees with us 100% that those were two amazing races from these guys tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, it really is entertaining to watch. I think generally, just from a racing point of view, it's extremely entertaining to watch. I love Formula One, and I have to say we've been very lucky with the last few races we've had in Formula One. But I think, if I'm honest, this is consistently more interesting. It's fantastic. I mean,
Oh, these V8
it's brilliant.
supercars are monsters, and like you said, the talent of all these guys driving these cars, as they demonstrated tonight, is simply incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic race again, everybody, and congratulations to the podium.
Yes,
Another
I
fantastic
can't
race
wait
to
to
watch.
see how the timings work out and see who ends up where. I got a feeling we'll see Allo Champs possibly with the first. But I'm sorry,
But
y'all.
what do you mean in that
I'm trying
race?
to figure out how to round it all up. Not used to doing the closing. Seems the opening is easier than the close. Um, but I want to give a big shout out and thanks to all the drivers. Y'all were fantastic. Toby, I want to give a big thanks to you and a shout out to you for being my co-commentator. You have done an amazing job, and I hope you stick around with Gavra Racing. I want to thank all the administrators for all the hard work that they put into Gavra Racing, and above all, Gavra for all he does for all of us. And we will have one more show next week at Bathurst. I believe I said that right. In the V8 Supercars. Everybody be sure to tune in for that. And Toby, I'll let you have the last closing remarks before I close this out.
Well, no, first, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate with you, and obviously we've got another race next week, the final race of the V8 Supercars, and it's been a pleasure, and I'll most certainly be sticking around. And anybody who is not a member of Gavra and are interested in racing, I believe that there's a race every day of the week. It's a fantastic community. Gavra does an incredible job organising, but there's a huge team behind him who just keep everything running extremely smoothly. So yeah, congratulations to everybody, and thank you for your assistance too tonight. Because to be honest with you, the whole season it would have been far less fun without you commentating with me. So thank you very much.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's been an honor to have you here with me. All right,
And
cool.
I will see you again next week, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
That's everyone. Y'all have a good evening.
Good night.